Hello traders, welcome back to our YouTube channel Probity Trades. I'm glad to have you join us here. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you trading opportunities and how I'm seeing the market right now and what I'm expecting the market to do in weeks to come. This month is currently rolling up to the end of it, so let's see how the market is going to react by the end of this month and also for the coming months. This week, or let me say previous week, we have been experiencing market irrational movements in the market. Then a lot of people have been saying that the market is this, the market is that. But in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you simple technical approach on what and my view is on most of the currency pair I'm going to be analyzing. So in this video, I'm going to be doing justice to major currency pair, gold, silvers, Bitcoin, and indices, as these are the assets that I trade. I don't trade minor currency pair. So if you have been following me for a while, you already know that these are the things that I trade. Enough of that. If you are coming across this channel for the very first time, you want to make sure that you subscribe, turn on the bell notification, so whenever I drop content like this, you will always be among the first to get notified. You are going to find this video educating, you will find it inciting, and don't forget to like the video so the algorithm can recommend it to as much people that this can benefit too. So let's just dive right into it. My screen is here and my camera is here, so don't mind me if I'm looking at this side. This is where my screen is. Let's just go straight to the point and let's analyze the chart. Alright, to start with, I have GBP USD. GBP USD right here. We'll be running through all of these pairs. I also don't want this video to be too long. One thing about me is that I love to explain whenever I'm analyzing, but I'll make sure that my explanation are very short and precise. So let's just dive right into it. First off, GBP USD. Before we understand the story, this is the day chart. Before even we understand the story, we need to start our analysis from the hour time frame. I usually start my analysis from the 3-month chart. So I go up to the 3-month chart. We want to understand the story behind this to know which side are we trading and why we are trading in that direction. So GBP USD, for a very long time, the market has been in a downtrend. However, for some couple of years back, GBP USD has been in an upward direction. Let me just simplify it by just marking out the market structure here. Price started from this high, create a low, we have a lower high, a lower low, lower high, equal low, equal high, lower low, lower high. We ought to put a lower low if this trend still wants to continue in a downtrend, but we have higher low, higher high, equal low. This tells us now that the market is shifting to the upside. Higher high, higher low, so we are expecting a continuational push of higher high. So with this, I am bullish on GBP USD. I am bullish on GBP USD. The market trend since 2022 has been very bullish. So there is no reason to say we want to change our bias yet. There is still much signs of bullishness in the market. Now that we have understand this, I have my key levels, support and resistance. This is what I trade. Simple price actions, support and resistance. And we have a minor resistance that have been holding up price here. So let's look at the monthly chart. On the monthly chart, let me pull this full like this. On the monthly chart, GBP USD has been in a range since June last year. the market has been in a range. We break above this previous high. This was supposed to be a normal retest continuation, but ever since, price has been dancing in between these two zones. Now we have a very strong bullish engulfing right from this level again. This bearish correction, to me, is like a correction, right, retracement. But sometimes when the market is ranging, we might be price might trick us, because we never can tell if this can still come all the way down before we push, or even maybe we are going to even have a break to the downside. But because what we are still seeing is that the market is in an uptrend, you can see higher lows being created in the market. So I'm still expecting that the trend is still going to continue. So we have an impulse and price is ranging, then I'm still expecting another impulse to the upside. So the next question now is, how am I, or how are we to look for opportunity in this type of market condition? One of the plain truth is that whenever the market is ranging, it is just best to leave the market. But this still showing us some clarity. That is the reason why we can still look for opportunity on GBP USD. So let's look at the weekly chart. On the weekly chart here now, we have this level. We have, let me take off this first, because I want you to understand the thought process behind those levels. You can see this resistance and support. So price come from this resistance. We did some kind of double bottom here. We push up, retracing downward, giving us higher low, and looking like we are about continuing the upward movement, something like this. So we're expecting to push higher on GBP USD. So on the day charts, we have an obvious level right here. I only mark obvious level. If you are new to trading support and resistance, the best thing you can do for yourself is to always mark the obvious level. So this is an obvious level that I have, which price has already broke through below. But if we look at this now, we may be a little bit confused that are we just going to have a break and retest of this day itself. Remember that we are in a range. Price can still either pull all the way downward to this point before we have any aggression to the top, or buyers can regain back their strength, retest this level, and then we continue back up. Actually, what I'm expecting here, what I would prefer to see, is price gaining strength right here. So if we, let me show you something. Price has been a downtrend here, lower low, lower highs. Then we created double bottom, which tells us that market's about shifting to the upside. Then price creates higher high, telling us that there's a change of character right here. Higher low, higher high. We break through now, creating lower low. Because we are below here, sellers still have a lot of power here. But if we want to buy, we need to see price rising upward again, retesting this level, and we can look for long opportunity. This is the only reason why I will only be looking to long GBP USD. Let's look at what the price action is doing on the 4-hour chart. We can see that price is still rejecting up from this level. I'm not looking to sell yet. I'm still looking for buying movements. I would want to buy if price can break here, rise above, retest, and then continuation. Simple break and retest. That is how I'm going to position myself for a trade on GBP USD. Let's move to the next one, Euro USD. So on Euro USD, we have similar thing as well on Euro USD. The market has been bullish for quite a while. We can see my minus zone here. I have about two major zones. And if I narrow down to the monthly chart, we can see that this market as well has been raging. So EU and GU has been in a range for a very long time. You already know, correlated wise, they are positively correlated. So what is happening to A is most likely to happen to B. So the market is already in a range. And truth be told, trading a ranging market might not come with so much confidence. In fact, even when if I'm to get an entry, I'm going to make sure that I lower my risks because the market is not really trending in a way that I would prefer, or perhaps I suppose some other good opportunity and I ignore this. However, I'm still expecting bullish movement on this one as well. So if I go to the weekly chart on Euro USD, this one is sitting at a level unlike the GBP USD, which is trading below it, but this one is currently sitting at this particular level between this range. If we check the day chart, so this is the day chart, so we can see candle reaction at this zone already. So if we are able to have a strong candle above, let's look at the 4 hours to just show you how I'm going to be entering this trade. Okay, so this is how I'm going to be entering this trade. I'm just going to have a trend line. Let me just have this trend line. If price is able to break above, this tells me that not just that this level is putting up price, but there is a strong volume at this particular zone which make buyers react very strongly. That is the only reason I would be entering for a buy trade. And in fact, Euro USD is looking more clearer than that of GBP USD. So I will be preferring to take this on Euro USD only if this place. If I have a strong bullish candlestick closing above this smaller trend line, I will be looking to enter for a buy opportunity. So our final target is going to be here. Along the way, we would partial close as market moves in our direction. And what can only invalidate this setup, this buy setup, is if price keeps going lower. I'm not looking to short. If price keeps going lower, then I might possibly be waiting here. Yes, it's going to be a long wait. You might say, why can't I just wait for break and retest like this? It's because I'm still seeing buy opportunity. So I really do not like to trade against the trend that I'm seeing. Only if I'm seeing that the market has really changed to the bearish structure, that is when I can start selling. But for now, I'm still seeing that the market is in a downtrend. Okay, is in an uptrend rather. So Euro USD, I'm bullish here. The only reason why I will enter a buy trade is if we have a strong candle close above this, then I'm going to enter for a buy opportunity. On to the next one, which is AUD USD. AUD USD also monthly chart. This is price moving very strong to the upside. We've been able to break above this mid-range zones with a very strong monthly candlestick last month, and we are having some sort of retest. If we look at the weekly chart, the weekly chart here now, there's a question we need to ask right here, is that is price going to come so deep to retest this level and then we continue? Because we can still see that we are in a strong bullish movement, but also we have a level right here. You spot this level well on the day chart. So we have this particular level. If price reacts here and I spot candle confirmation, I will enter a trade. One thing is that people have multiple levels and they don't know which one to trade from. They say, "Ah, maybe I trade from here, maybe I trade from here." The truth is, whenever you have a zone and you spot market reactions, most importantly, your entry criteria showing up at that particular zone, I see no reason why you should hesitate of not taking a trade. If I should spot my entry criteria here, I'm definitely going to long AUD USD. Let's also look at 4 hour. This is looking similar to the type of entry we saw earlier on Euro USD. So we'll be having something like this here too. We'll be having something like this here as well. If I can have a strong candle close above this, then I'll be going long on AUD USD. My stop loss is going to be below. Right here, I'm going to have my first day profit where I'm going to be taking partial, and then possibly you can see that we have a lot of space at the top, but don't be overly excited by dragging this your take profit to the moon and feel like, yes, I'm respecting ratio 14. If I should eat this, I'm going to make this so much. And even this type of trades, this is 4 hour chart. It comes with a lot of ups and downs. The best thing you can do for yourself is to give yourself a realistic target. Usually I target ratio 5, but now I can easily look left to see if there's any level that I can use aside this one, which is going to be my first day profit. So I can just switch back to the weekly chart to easily look left. You can see when I look left now, I can see a lot. So looking left, these two highs are very obvious. Only pay attention to the obvious zone. Price usually go to the most obvious zone, which they call liquidity zone. Obvious, where a lot of people are anticipating trade opportunity. So this is where I'll be expecting if we are able. Now let's go back to 4 hour. So you can see what I just do right there. I went back to the weekly chart to be able to get my target, but in a case whereby there's nothing on my left, I just go for ratio 5. So this is how I'm going to be entering long on AUD USD if we have a strong push to the upside. But if price keeps tanking down, then I'll be waiting for it here because the market still says bullish. Next on the line is NZD USD. You see these first 4 currency pairs, they are positively correlated. If you don't know that, go and learn about correlation. They are positively correlated, and I'm bullish on all of them. AUD USD is more clearer. Euro USD is more clearer. GBP USD is not really clear. So let's look at this so that we know which to trade. When you have so many opportunities, or let me say so many currency pair, analyzing them doesn't mean that yes, every of those currency are going to give you opportunity. Even when they do, you are not meant to enter all, because when you enter all, you think you want to maximize your profit, but truthfully you have exposed yourself to a lot of danger. Enough of that, let's continue. So NZD USD, similar price action movement. Support has been holding, market is drifting to the upside. A possible double bottom right here, which we want to go up to complete the neckline of this before we even think of a break. So I'm expecting NZD USD to continue pushing higher to complete the neckline of this possible double bottom. So if we go down to the weekly chart, we also have this level, weekly resistance. Price pushed up, will retrace, and even from here, if we should bring out our Fibonacci from low to high, price is currently trading at a fib zone, and also there is a daily support level at that point. You can see that at this zone, sellers are still having so much power. A lot of people, when price gets to their zone, they try to just enter trade immediately. Price is already at their support level and then they are in with the first candlestick they are seeing. That type of entry is very wrong, and most of the time price will kick you out before it even starts moving in your direction. There are still some certain reactions you need to see before you start entering your trade. This does not mean that you are not going to have losses, but trust me, it's going to minimize some of your losses which you should have encountered when you just enter with just one candlestick. So here there are series of reaction that is going in, buyers pulling up, sellers pulling down, telling us that there is a strong level of demand at this zone. What would make me enter a trade? You can see I already have my counter trend here again. One of my favorite entry techniques is counter trend line and chart patterns. I have a concept I call EWM as well, where I look for exhaustion, weak rejections, range, and then momentum. But in this case, I'm not adding that kind of setup. What I'm seeing here is a counter trend line play. So I'll be waiting for price to break above this counter trend line, and we will be looking to target the next level of resistance because price moved from one particular zone to the next. So if we have this, we'll be looking to target here. So this, my first take profit level where I'm going to be taking partial is going to be here, and that should give me something around ratio 2 point something. Yeah, so this is still very decent. So all of these are still hypothetical until the market opens before we know how we are going to react. Let's move to the next currency pair. Now we are done with the first four that are positively correlated. Then we move to the next three that are also positively correlated. Since all of these ideas are bullish, definitely these are going to be bearish because these first four and these last three, they are negatively correlated. So I'm expecting short opportunity on all of these, but this has an exception. Let's look at this first. USD CAD. USD CAD right from this support has been buying, but we cannot understand the context here. We can't just say the market is bullish and then let's start going bullish. We are not scalping, neither are we day trading. We are looking at the overall trend and trade in the dominant trend of the market. So to understand this, we have to start our analysis from the 3-month chart. On the 3-month chart, USD CAD has been very bullish until we went into a nasty range. We ran up into a major resistance, and ever since price has really been looking like we want to trend downward. We have this major candle reversal pattern, which is an evening star. Ever since price has been ranging, similar to what we have been seeing on the other currency pair as well. You can see that those currency pairs that are ranging that we just checked now, they are trending to the upside. We are still seeing them to the upside. Now this one is happening at a major resistance level, which make us feel like yes, the market is likely to be pulling all the way down. So if we go down to monthly charts to see this clearer, we are going to see the range more clearer. You can see I have a trend line. This trend line, what this is doing is that I'm spotting a particular chart patterns that might be adding to my bias for a downtrend, and this is a descending triangle. If you know a descending triangle, it is a chart pattern that indicate that sellers are most likely to pull price down. It is being created by a series of lower highs, and then we have equal lows and lower highs. So we're still expecting that price is going to push further and we're going to break this level. Sometimes they fail, but most of the time they work. In this context, we hope they work. We are not the one that control the market, okay? So we just have to react based on what we are currently seeing on the chart. Then we move down to the 1-week chart. On the 1-week chart, we can see the descending channel now looking very good. This is the support that has been holding, and yet price is creating lower highs lower highs, lower highs. What are we expecting next? We are expecting price to create another lower high to pull all the way down. This may lead to the break, or perhaps we can have another one that may now eventually lead to the break. So this is what I'm seeing on USD Canada, that I'm expecting a sell opportunity at this region. I'm expecting a sell opportunity at that region. So let's go down to the day chart, and this is how I'm going to be entering this trade. Let's go to the 4 hours chart. I'm also going to be using a counter trend line, now a bullish counter trend line. So I'm going to be having my counter trend line like this. Not until we break below this counter trend line, I am not selling. If price keeps moving upwards, it invalidates this sell idea. But if price is able to trade below, if we are still trading above, I'm not interested. But if you find ourselves breaking below this line, then I'm now interested to take a short opportunity on USD CAD. I'll be looking to short. Let's say it happens around this region, whatsoever it may happen. I'm just waiting for price to break below, and I'll be looking to target back to this next support, because that is the point where price may come to and still find another pressure. So I'll be trading from this top down to this particular point. My first step profit level is going to be around this region. So this is how I'm positioning myself for opportunity on USD CAD. Next one, USD CHF. USD CHF, let's also start from the top. 3-month charts. In fact, this clearly shows that USD CHF has been in a downtrend for so many years. So we've been able to break through this major support level. We find ourselves trading below, price in a range. In fact, most of these have this range in common, and now this is looking that we are still heading to the downside. But we have a minor support that price may come in contact with before we go to this major point. So we are looking for a way to trade downward to this minor support level. So if I should go down to the monthly chart just to see things very good. So we break through this, a range, we break below, a pushback, and now looking like a continuation to the downside. This is what I'm talking about. A push down, we have a range, a lower low, lower high, and I'm expecting a lower low at least coming to this recent low first. So let's look at how we can take opportunity on USD CHF. So USD CHF, we can see here this low. I am expecting market to come down, but also note that there are some level right here we need to pay attention to, which I may not really be interested in taking trade opportunity here. There is a level of support on resistance at this point, and as well there is a level right here. So this is like another macro level inside a mini level. So price was able to break, we retest, we come down, we retest, now another nasty range inside of this. So for me, USD CHF, I'm bearish, but how price is moving now, I really do not like it. So let's look at this. Yes, so price is moving to the downside. So, but I think this has already moved. In fact, if I go to 4 hours to mark a counter trend line, we already broke through it already. We already break through. Yeah, we already break through. If you are trading counter trend line, waiting for the break, you need to pay attention to the candlestick as well. You can't take entry with all of these dodges candlestick. Maybe your entry might have come here, or maybe if you go to a lower time frame, you might have get an earlier entry on them. So I'm bearish here. I'm bearish. I'm bearish. I'm bearish. But trading opportunity now is not really looking good anymore. So we have to ignore USD CHF for now. So far, Euro USD is clear, more clearer. I prefer it to GBP USD. AUD USD is clear. NZD USD is as well clear. USD CHF is clear. This is not clear. Let's look at USD JPY. Now, USD JPY, the Japanese yen has really been a weak currency. Even when dollar is weak, it's still strong compared to the Japanese yen. That is the reason why this particular pair is having an exception. And for me, I'm not going to be looking for opportunity here, because once the market trend is not really clear to you as a trader, the best thing for you to do is just to leave that particular pair and move to the next thing. However, I'm going to be explaining this why I feel like I'm not trading this. So if we go to the monthly chart, we can see that even when other currencies are showing weakness, those that have USD as their base currency, this is showing strength. That tells you that the US dollar, when compared to Japanese yen, is stronger than the Japanese yen. That is why this is moving to the upside. And even when we are moving to the upside, we are trading almost at a resistance. I don't like to buy into a resistance, especially when it is so near. So I love it when we have a larger gap. Let's say maybe price is still trading here, I might be interested, but now we are already close. So the risk reward will not be very okay. So if we move down to the weekly charts, you can see what we have right here. Higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. So we are expecting a possible higher high. If we are to buy here, this is a resistance that is most likely price might find pressure from, and then everything can just surge to the downside. So it's better I avoid this. But if you are a short-term trader, like you want to scalp or you want to day trade, you might possibly look for a bullish opportunity. But in case we find ourselves trading below this level, then know that the market direction is about to change. The market direction is about to change. Let's look at the day chart. So I'm not interested. In fact, the market movements, the price action is not really that nice. So I rather leave this and move to the next thing. And that is all for the major currency pair. And now we are about to move to the next section of indices, gold, silver, and crypto. I hope you are enjoying this video. You've been learning a lot. Hit the like button, and if you are yet to subscribe, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Let's continue. Gold. Let's look at gold. I was looking at this earlier and I'm like, can it happen? But let's see. Let's start from the month chart. On the monthly chart, let me try to compress my chart. You can see my key levels on this chart. These are my key levels. Very neat, but also the market doesn't pay you for a simple techniques, or neither a complicating one. Just understand what you are doing. So right here now, we've been in a very strong push on gold ever since this point. Since 2023, September 2023, gold has been very strong, and now we are having some little corrections. So where my question now lies is, can we have a massive drop on gold? Don't say, nay, it cannot happen. Look here, it has once happened before. It has happened before. So don't say it can't happen. It has happened before. Nothing is impossible in the market. So this is what I'm asking myself. Can we have a very large movement down? However, we have to follow what we are seeing on the charts. If that is going to happen or not. Then I narrow down to the weekly charts and we have a particular level that might impact price. In fact, there are two. That is the first one and this is the second one. If price breach below this last low, then I see no reason why gold should not drop to this point. If we break here too, I see no reason why gold should not come back here. But if on the flip side, gold was able to retain at this 4,500 and we have some bullish coming into the market and we are able to break this counter trend line with a very strong candlestick, that does not just indicate strength, it's also going to show us a chart pattern of a double bottom if it happens. So we are going to have a possible double top that we're going to tell us that price is still going to head higher. So the retracement might just be a shallow retracement and then we continue moving higher. So I'm monitoring this level. As market opens next week, there is no need to rush. Stay patient and let's see. There's another thing I'm seeing here that may want me to consider entry even before this break. If we go to the 4-hour chart, 4 hours chart on gold, so we are having this. In fact, it is no longer appearing as it was before or as it were before. This is a possible inverse head and shoulder. It is still intact. A possible inverse head and shoulder. This is our right shoulder. This is a head. This is our possible right shoulder. So if gold is able to come all the way up and we find ourselves above, best way is to break, retest, continuation. Break, retest, continuation. That will be better. Break, retest, continuation. If I see this when the market open in the early week of next week, I'm going to go long on gold. And this trend line is going to just be my take profit zone. Might be my first take profit or my overall exit point, depending on what the market is showing. So that is what I'm currently seeing on gold. And let's move to the next one. Okay, let me just quickly delete this. Give me some seconds, guys. If you are enjoying this, you know what to do. Hit the like button, subscribe, and you don't miss out whenever I drop content like this. Next one is silver. Silver and gold moves alike. 3-month chart, I have my levels here as well. Silver has been able to hit a particular resistance. Also, it is pulling back. Same question here too. Are we going to have a massive drop? It has happened before. This massive drop here, 2012 down to 2020, 8 years drop. Are we going to have similar things here as well? We never can tell what will happen. Let's keep on with our analysis. So we have this particular level. This is a weekly level. Let's look at the weekly chart. That is a weekly level. In fact, this is looking more of a bearish structure than that of gold, because here we already have the break of this last low. On gold, price is still trading here. Here we break, we pull up, Are we going to create another lower low, or is there going to be price pulling down and then just continue, or we respect this particular zone and we continue pushing up? These are questions that need answers. A question that need answer. Before we can answer them, our patience is needed. You don't need to just jump into assumption and just feel like, yes, that's what price is going to do. Wait and see reaction before you actually react as well. So here I'll be having a lot more patience on silver. Gold will determine what will happen to silver. So whatsoever happening on gold is most likely going to be replicating here as well. So the market movement here is not clear as that of gold. So for this case too, I will be preferring opportunity on gold than silver. So let me highlight gold as well in red. Let me tick this. Now let's move to indices. We are done with gold and silver. Now we are moving to indices. And on my first list is S&P 500. There's a particular opportunity I missed on one of those indices, but it happens. Missed opportunities will always happen. So let's start from the 3-month chart. You can see my levels simply plotted. So I have my key areas, and price has been able to break above this major resistance, and the next visible point we are going to is the next obvious resistance. The other time I said I look left, but here if we look left, we can see that there is no level at all. Price has never been to that high. So maybe a beginner trader watching this might now say, how do I get this resistance point? What did I do? Just measure this distance and replicate it to the top, so you get that. So that's usually, you use that whenever the price has never visited that particular point. So here I'm still expecting S&P 500 to continue going bullish. So I'm bullish on this particular one. So what I'm waiting for currently now, let's look at the monthly chart. We can see the structure, higher highs and higher lows. These are stocks. Mostly they appreciate. So now it is on expansion phase. We need to see price correcting downward. So a lot of waiting is needed here. We need to wait for retracement. And where are we waiting? I'm waiting for retracement at this previous high as my point of reference. And whenever I start seeing more downward movement, I can also bring out my Fibonacci to know if maybe this point is going to support Fib or maybe a little bit lower. But if price will retrace here and I'm seeing my confirmations entry, definitely I'm entering my trade. So here I'm still waiting for a pullback on S&P 500. NAS 100, similar thing on NAS 100. I don't want to do so much talking here as well. If I take you to the 3-month chart to just see my levels, you can see these are my levels. Here are my levels. Strong bullish movement. We are heading here. We need retracement. So retracement is needed before we can enter trade opportunity. Some beginners trader can still say, but it's buying. You can go to the lower time frame, get your entry. You can do that. This is how I trade. I will wait for another major reactions to downside, then before going long. Then also on this one, Japan 225, this is exactly where I missed my entry. I missed a trade opportunity here. In fact, it is one of my best entry techniques. I love to enter trade specifically with chart patterns. And trust me, this is even one of my favorites. When we break above a level and price is retesting and is giving me some sort of a flag pattern, I love it. Sincerely speaking, I love it. But for one reason or the other, I missed this trade. My first level target would have just been hit, partial would have just been taken, but it is just fine and good. Market don't run away, opportunity will comes back again. So we missed this already. We wait for another opportunity. US 30 as well. Let's go to the 3 month. On most of these, actually, we need to wait for retracement. They are far gone already. They are far gone. In fact, this is already approaching the next key area. So you can see a pull up, retracement, another pull up going on. This pull up can just keep heading like that to the major level. So you can see price is trending, really trending to the upside. So for this now, there's no trade opportunity here, no trade opportunity. And lastly, Bitcoin. For those who trade BTC, sit back and see my view on Bitcoin. Bitcoin, let's see. Oh wow, in fact, price is already doing what I'm expecting. I see a lot of people buying BTC. Though we look at the market from a different lens, from the lens at which I am looking at it, I still want a little bit downward movement. Let's see. Overall, I'm bullish. Let's see. 3-month charts. Let's start from there, the bigger picture. On the 3-month chart, what can you see? A strong, beautiful bullish trend. The market has been creating highs and lows in the market, and I have my key levels plotted. If market should place according to my plan, the next key levels that we are looking to target on Bitcoin is 200 and let's take a round figure, 250,000. Yes, probability said it. The next key level we are going on BTC is 250,000, but that is not going to happen in the next few months. Might take us some couple of years before we get there. Just know that when it happens, there is a black Ibadan guy that has said it before it even happened. So let's see how can we spot opportunity. We cannot enter a trade now and just hold our trade for for the next maybe 5 years, who knows, or 10 years. Yeah, no, I don't think it might take off in 10 years. Let's say maybe 3 to 4 years, maybe, or shorter. But we are just looking to profit from the price fluctuations. So if I move down to the 1-month charts, we've had price break through this level first, we retest, we break through again. There's a particular lesson I do teach my students with this kind of breaks. They know better if they were watching this video. Now we have a bigger break, a retest, a candle confirmation, confirming that price is likely to now continue moving higher, the morning star candlestick. And also we were able to close above a weekly resistance. We were able to close above this weekly resistance with formations of a double bottom. Not only that, we have a trend line that is broken already. Double bottom, how you trade that is wait for a break of the neckline, retest on the neckline, and now we already have a break out from the neckline. We are waiting for a retest. Number 2, there is a break of a trend line. We are waiting for the retest. There is a break of this previous resistance. We are waiting for the retest. All of this is centered around this region, 72,000. So I would want to see BTC to drop more lower to 72,000, and then I'll be looking to go long. I'll be looking to go long right here. My next level target is going to be the recent high. Don't forget we have our overall level at the top, but I'm not looking to hold my trade for the next 3 years. I'm not an investor yet in the market. I'm still a trader, so I'm taking off my profits if market should dance to my tune at the next nearest zone. So this is how I'm going to position myself for trade opportunity. Of course, we are not taking the entry on the 1 week chart. I use the 4 hours chart for my entry, or sometimes I use 1 hour. Majorly I use 1 hour. I just, maybe when I'm not seeing anything strong on the 1 hour, that is when I switch to well, that's when I switch to 4 hour. I like what I'm seeing. I like the whips at which price is coming to my zone, which is giving me room already to map out a counter trend line, and we may have a possible pattern. Maybe it's yet to fully form. Maybe. So let me take off this trend line. So we may have price pull here, push up again. I'm not buying yet. Comes back down, push up, come back down, then dance a bit here and we break. That is when I'm now ready to enter for a long opportunity on BTC USD. So be looking to target. Oh wow, it's a very long journey. Oh, it's a very long journey. Oh, truth be told, I might not be holding up to this point. Oh, I might just be looking to get out at this nearest zone. Though I love to target big R, but for me, if I can get 5R at my nearest zone or 6, is just okay for me. Yeah, I know that price might likely get to realistically at minimum maybe a month time. So yeah, it's very realistic. In fact, Bitcoin whenever it wants to move very strong, it can even get to this target in under a week. In under a week. So I'll be looking for trade opportunity like this on BTC USD. Thank you if you have stayed this far, and I believe you have gained an insightful and educating idea from this video. If you love this sort of content, make sure to like this video, subscribe if you haven't done so, and I'm going to see you in the next coming episode. See you next time.